three men appear out of the desert at Abraham and Sarah's tent, and Abraham gives them food and drink. They show hospitality to these strangers, and it becomes apparent that these are not just ordinary guys, but that God is somehow speaking and working through them. And then they do this weird thing where they make a promise that Sarah is going to have a son. Now this is absurd because Sarah is in her 90s, well past the age of having children. And so Sarah, who's listening in from the tent, laughs. Except her laugh is not just at the absurdity of this, it's not just incredulity. She's also laughing with indignation that they would dare to make this promise, because for decades Sarah has been holding on to this promise. For decades, Sarah has believed that she was going to have this kid, and it never happened, and so finally she gave up on the promise. Sarah assumed that God was done with her, and so she laughs at them for claiming otherwise. Well, 9 months pass, and as you know, Sarah has a son. She names him Isaac, which means laughter, because this time God has given her a laughter of joy and a laughter of hope, a laughter where she knows that it turned out God was not done with her. It turns out it's a lot easier to lose hope in this world, to give up on hope, than it is to hold on to it. It's easy to think that God is done with this city or this nation or this world, that God is done with your family, or that God is done with you. It's easy to believe that. But God's not done with you yet. We have the same God that Sarah had. We have a different promise. We're not promised a son in our 90s or a daughter in our 80s. Instead, we have a God who promised us life with God no matter what. A God who will go to hell and back in order to make sure that we have life with God. We have different promises, but the same God, and God is not done with you yet.